right, we're back, and we're back to Star Wars. We're going to talk now about Knights of the Old Republic. This is developed by BioWare and LucasArts, and it's for the Xbox. What do you think of this one?
Well, everybody's hyped up about this game.
It's a huge hit.
Extremely popular game. You go online, you'll see reviews at 9s and 10s all over the place.
And you hated it.
No, I didn't hate it. I like the fact that you can build up different abilities, and I like the acting and the characters, lightsabers and the blasters. I liked all that stuff.
Sounds like we got a great game here. No?
The one thing I hated about this game...
What's that?
Which kind of ruined a lot of the experience for me. This is a strategy game, it's a role-playing game, but it's all turn-based, and that's my biggest problem. You're not actually controlling the character or fighting. All you're doing, it's like Pokemon. All you do is you tell it what to do, like, I want to block, or I want to attack with my lightsaber, or I want to shoot. So you get a turn, and then you sit there, and then the other player gets a turn, and you sit there. Now, the fact of the matter is that these games were created because they didn't have the capability to do 3D and to control the characters in all these awesome environments. Well, guess what? We are in the 21st century now, last time I checked. Why couldn't you...
You're talking about two different gameplay styles. You're talking about being in control and talking about an action-adventure game, and this is a role-playing game.
Yeah, you're in control.
This is a role-playing game where your decisions are not based on hacking and slashing.
So you're saying that the game wouldn't have done any justice if you could actually control it?
They decided to go in this direction because it offers a different kind of gameplay, which is more strategic, which is more of a thinking person's game.
Absolutely not. Pressing a button...
It isn't about that.
Pressing a button and waiting to see what happens.
You're deciding what team members are going to be on the offensive based on what you see on the opponent's side, and it's a tactical strategy
which never really happens, because it's always whatever player you have, you're the main character. And if you love these style of games, you are absolutely going to love this game. I'm not telling people out there that they're crazy for liking this game.
Yes, you are.
I'm just warning people out there. If you're like me and you don't like turn-based role-playing games, stay away and avoid this one, because...
Open your minds. If you've never tried anything like this, this is the game to try.
But you won't open your mind when I say I like a good fishing game or a horse racing game. You won't open your mind to that.
No, because
so open your mind if you like Vic.
Those are mini games.
One of my favorite parts of the game is the fact that you can kind of go down this path of being on the dark side or, the light side.
That's awesome.
And me personally, I, of course, went straight for the dark side.
So all the negative things.
All the negative, rude things. I was rude to people.
That kind of stuff is very, very
clever, I like convincing people to come over to the dark side.
Yes.
So I say to you, you should come over to the dark side and not like turn-based games like me.
Oh,
that is the dark side.
That is the dark side. As much as I love this game, there are a couple of quibbles that I have with it. I do wish, you do have a lot of movement and freedom of movement in the game, and I do wish that you could jump over obstacles that are like a foot off the ground. I also wish that the load times weren't so prevalent and so long.
So I guess you can't give it a 10 then?
No, I'm giving it a 10. 10 out of 10. Fantastic game. Great job, BioWare.
I'm telling you like it is. It's a great game, but I'm giving it a 7.5.
On the positive side, this game offers one of the most compelling stories in any video game. The voiceover acting, the sound effects, the music, the whole Star Wars presentation, incredible. But definitely the best part about Knights of the Old Republic is the different paths you can take in the light or dark force.
On the negative side, for those of you out there who do not like turn-based combat games, you may want to avoid this one. Now, the load times, especially for an Xbox game, seem a bit excessive. And finally, where's R2 and Chewie?
Well, speaking of turn-based combat, we've got a controller now for the Xbox to talk about that really has nothing to do with turn-based combat at all. This is the Pelican Trick Controller, and it's built specifically for all of you fighting game fans out there that love to, to cheat.
So when you're playing those turn-based combat games, you can program in that left and enter.
It's got the cool X logo on the front, kind of looks like the X-Men sort of insignia, but it's not. It's got the combo feature.
The Trick Controller actually came out before the Controller S, but it was a lot similar to it. The old Trick Controller, though, had the 4 big round buttons in the cross. This particular one, though, the new model, doesn't have that. Once again, these controller companies must not do any research whatsoever and ask game players anything, because I've never met a game player who said, put all the buttons right next to each other. It does this, and it off-centers them, so they're on a diagonal.
Also, the black and the white buttons are too far up on the thing, so you have to take your thumb off of the right analog thumb.
In the normal S controller, like the start and pause, they're like over to the left, but on this controller, they're in the middle, like the PlayStation.
The price is about $25, which I think is still, it's probably a little bit steep, considering that you can now pick up the Controller S, and I think that's a better controller for your Xbox. I'm not going to recommend this one. Are you going to recommend it?
Unfortunately, no.
On the positive side, the Trick Controller is a little bit smaller than the original Microsoft Xbox controller. It's got that cool X insignia on the front. That always looks swell. And for all you people that love to cheat in your fighting games, it does have the programmable buttons and that one combo switch.
On the negative side, the 4 important buttons are right next to each other and off-center on a diagonal. For those of you used to the black and white buttons down lower, these are actually on top. And finally, the price point isn't really that competitive.
All right, we're going to head to the hills next for a look at Downhill Domination for the PlayStation 2. It's coming up right after this.